Okay, so if you're planning any kind of trip right now, you know this feeling. It's not just about the money, is it? It's the sheer mental effort. That point where you've got, what, like 14 tabs open, maybe a couple in incognito because someone told you airlines track you.
Yeah.
And you're trying to juggle prices from a budget carrier, a big airline, two different aggregators, just hoping to save maybe $50. It's exhausting. That information overload, it's the big hurdle. So today, we're doing a deep dive. We're looking at the source material on a tool built specifically to tackle that, the travel meta search engine app, FareFirst.
Exactly. And our mission here isn't just to, list features. We really want to unpack the mechanics. How does a true meta search engine actually work? We'll focus on how it saves you time, saves you money, and crucially, how it operates differently, really differently from the standard booking sites, the OTAs you might normally use.
Right, because it's a tool many of us use, maybe just occasionally, but the tech behind it, it's pretty sophisticated. It's a powerful search tool, definitely, but it works in a kind of unique way, like the ultimate detective for travel prices, maybe, but one that never actually touches the cash. Okay, let's get into it. So let's start with that core idea, meta search engine. It's a term that gets thrown around. What exactly is FareFirst in this context? What's the problem it's fundamentally trying to solve?
Well, the sources are really clear on this. FareFirst positions itself specifically as a meta search engine. Its whole focus is finding cheap flights and the best hotel deals worldwide. And what that really means, practically speaking, is they aren't selling you anything directly. They're not holding inventory. Think of them more as a massive information broker. The problem they're tackling, it's often about latency and scope. When you search manually site by site, you wait, the price loads, you go to the next one. And those prices, they're changing constantly. FareFirst's approach is to query literally hundreds of sources, airlines, discount sites, other comparison platforms, all at basically the same time using APIs. It then gathers all those results for you way faster than you ever could on your own.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. That speed and that sheer scale, that's the big difference, isn't it? Because if it doesn't sell the tickets itself, if it doesn't hold the inventory, its job is totally different. It's not a shop. It's more like a real-time price scanner.
Exactly. Its core function is pure aggregation and comparison, done incredibly quickly. You put in your route, your dates, and bam, it sends out requests across, well, basically the whole online travel world. We're talking hundreds of places, all the big OTAs, like Expedia, Booking.com, plus hitting the airline's own websites directly too. And think about the computational work involved there. It's not just pulling from some static list. It's dealing with dynamic pricing, updates flying in from all of these different systems in real time. Sometimes it gets conflicting info or sees temporary price drops. It has to sort all that out and give you one clear list. That's really the magic of the meta search engine.
Right. And that simultaneous check, that's where the immediate payoff for the user comes in. You get that single list showing the absolute rock bottom prices for the same flight or the same hotel room.
Yeah.
But it clearly tells you who's offering that price. Provider A, provider B, the airline itself.
Mm-hmm. And the power isn't just seeing all the prices lined up. Let's be honest, a raw list of 1,000 flights, that's still overload. This is where those advanced filter options, which the source material highlights, become really crucial for actually saving you time. You can narrow things down really fast based on what you care about. We're talking specific airlines you prefer or, the maximum number of layovers you'll tolerate, specific times for departure or arrival, and crucially, setting a definite price range. It helps you just weed out everything that's way too expensive or maybe even suspiciously cheap. That kind of fine-tuning means the aggregation actually leads to useful, tailored results for you.
Okay, let's connect this to the business side for a second, because this is important if you want to understand how these things work.
Mm-hmm.
If FareFirst isn't taking your money, how does it stay in business?
Yeah.
I have to ask, right? How do we know the results aren't just maybe subtly tilted towards the sites that pay them more?
That's a really good question. It goes right to the core of the business model. The sources confirm it's basically an affiliate model. They earn referral fees. So every time you click on a deal and get sent over to the OTA's website or the airline site, FareFirst typically gets a small commission. And interestingly, that often happens whether you actually book or not. It's a delicate balance, though. Yes, they get paid by the providers, but their whole value to you, the user, is finding the lowest price. Full stop. If users start thinking the results are biased, if they lose that trust, the whole platform kind of falls apart. So the system inherently needs to show you the best deal to keep you coming back. That trust, you could say, is their real currency, even if a slightly less good deal might pay a higher commission sometimes.
Okay, that helps put the data integrity into perspective. Good. Shifting focus slightly. If we think bigger picture, this meta search approach clearly isn't just for like simple domestic flights, right?
Oh, absolutely not. The sources make it clear it covers both ends of the spectrum. Really complex international multi-stop routes and your basic domestic hops. It's designed to constantly scan for general deals, any promotional discounts that pop up, and yeah, those tricky last-minute booking offers too. It doesn't really matter how big or small the road is. And what's really interesting is seeing how well this same logic works for things beyond just the flight. Fare First isn't only about getting you there, it uses the exact same meta search idea for finding you a place to stay when you arrive.
Ah, right. So tell us about the accommodation side. When it's comparing hotels, does it just stick to the big chains, or can that meta search approach dig deeper?
No, it casts the same wide net. That's its strength. It compares prices across a huge range of places to stay, your standard hotels and motels, obviously. But it also pulls in data from sources covering B&Bs, those dedicated vacation rental sites, even hostels sometimes. And importantly, digging into the accommodation data lets them try and solve a common frustration. Those hidden costs. An OTA lists a room price, but then maybe there's a mandatory resort fee or a cleaning charge that only shows up right at the end. The meta search tries to factor those in, aggregate the whole picture to give you a truer comparison price right from the start.
Yeah, that total cost comparison is super valuable. Okay, so beyond finding the flight and the bed, the app includes another little tool that tackles a different kind of travel stress, the real-time flight tracker.
Yes, the flight tracker is a really nice bonus feature. Think about it. If you're managing a tight connection somewhere, or maybe for the person meeting you at the other end, having that real-time combined status info just cuts down on the guessing and the worry. It pulls the latest updates directly from the air traffic control system, so you get pretty accurate info on delays, gate changes, things like that, right in the app.
Okay, so we've covered the search, the comparison, the aggregation, even the business model. We've found the perfect deal. We're ready to go. Click. Now, since the app itself doesn't sell anything, we reach that crucial moment, the handoff. How do you actually book it? Where does the payment happen?
Right. This is the final step, and it's where the responsibility clearly shifts. Once you pick that deal, the flight, the hotel room, whatever, the Fare First app redirects you. It sends you straight over to the website of this specific provider, the OTA or the airline, that actually offered that price. And it's really important to stress this. You complete the actual booking, handle the payment, everything, directly on that third-party site. The final transaction is with them, not inside the Fare First app, which, from Fare First perspective, makes sense. They avoid all the massive operational costs and, frankly, the customer service headaches of managing inventory, cancellations, changes, all that stuff.
That makes total sense. They handle the search risk, the provider handles the fulfillment risk. So wrapping this up, what does this whole process really mean for you, the traveler?
It means you should think of this app as a super smart, ideally unbiased data crunching machine. Its job is pretty simple, conceptually. It gathers data from all over the place, saving you potentially hours of tedious searching and reducing that mental load of comparing dozens of prices and options yourself. It finds the deal, confirms the price, and then it gets out of the way so you can seal the deal directly with the company that actually has the seat or the room.
Precisely. And I think the core insight here, the real takeaway, isn't just about getting the lowest possible price, although that's obviously great. The maybe deeper hidden value is in that efficiency of aggregation. It saves you the mental energy, the time, the sheer cognitive friction of juggling all those data points yourself. That efficiency, that's priceless.
It really is. We hope this deep dive has given you a clearer picture of the pretty sophisticated engines working behind these big comparison sites. Hopefully some useful insight into the tech that saves you time before your next trip.
Thank you for joining us as we dug into how these meta search engines really work in today's travel world.
And just as a final thought, something for you to maybe mull over, given that these meta search tools rely so heavily on pulling data from OTAs and airlines, how might the ongoing push from major airlines especially to get you to book directly with them using loyalty perks, special discounts only on their site or app, how might that start to challenge or maybe fundamentally change the whole business model for these powerful comparison platforms like Fare First over the next, say, 5 or 10 years? Something to think about next time you're planning an adventure.